You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
And welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann, and we extend a warm hello to everybody listening on WNDZ 750 AM here in Chicago, and all who are watching our live stream on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago, which is the account for the Archdiocese of Chicago. As regular listeners of the Voice of Charity know, on occasion we welcome Catholic Charities staff members to the show so our audience can learn more about the extraordinary people who've dedicated their lives to helping the poor and those who are struggling in Cook and Lake counties. Today, it is my great honor to welcome a member of the congregation of Albertine Sisters serving the poor. Sister Kate and her fellow sisters work at Catholic Charities in our food pantries in Round Lake and at St. Blaise Parish in Summit. The Albertine Sisters have their American Mother House in Hammond, Indiana, and they are incredibly inspiring to speak with about the work of Catholic Charities and about life and service to God. Welcome, Sister Kate.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for all you do for Catholic Charities and the people that we serve. May I ask you to start out by please telling us about your founder, St. Brother Albert, and how he established the Albertine Order?
Yes, so St. Brother Albert is our founder. He was born in Poland in 1845, and he was a very known painter, but in response to God's calling, he abandoned his career as a painter to devote his life, to devote his entire life to serve the abandoned and poor people in whom he saw the Son of God. He saw in their faces Jesus. So he donned the penitential habit and moved to the shelter and started to live with those people, with the homeless people in Krakow, and give his life as example of a selfless life, a love, charitable work, in order to restore to God and society those who had fallen by the wayside. So our congregation was founded in 1891. January 15, that's the date when the first sisters took their vows.
And so the order was established in Krakow, Poland. But how many sisters, Albertine Sisters, are there nationwide in Poland and worldwide now, Sister Kate?
So worldwide, it's a little over 400. And in United States, 16 of us.
Oh, that's so inspiring.
We are here in the 3 communities, like you said, the Mother House is in Hammond. There is 9 sisters over there, and 4 sisters working, 3 sisters working in St. Blaise Food Pantry, and 3 sisters working in Round Lake.
And may I ask how you became associated with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Chicago?
So we were welcomed by Cardinal George. And the first sisters started to work in a food pantry in Summit by St. Blaise in 2003. So next year will be 20 years when sisters already work in a Catholic Charities.
That's so much to celebrate, and you do so much every day to help the poor and keep these food pantries running at their maximum efficiency and maximum effectiveness. I know you, Sister Kate, are also working, so we've got some sisters working at the St. Blaise Food Pantry in Summit, but then you work at our Round Lake Food Pantry, correct, at our Schreiber Center for Human Services?
Yes. I do work here along with the 2 other sisters. And we are here for 2 years.
For 2 years. And so it's a total of 8 sisters working for Catholic Charities. Is that correct?
6.
6, okay. And do you all live in congregation together, sister?
So yes, as a congregation, we live in the communities of the sisters. So as here in Round Lake, 3 of us, we live in a convent by St. Joseph Parish. And the sisters who work in St. Blaise, they live in a convent by Incarnation Parish, which is in Crestwood.
Wonderful. So you're at 2 locations, but obviously still living in community through the distance. And may I ask how you juggle the responsibilities of working for Catholic Charity, their long hours and often unpredictable hours. How do you juggle those responsibilities with the responsibilities of being part of your congregation, sister?
So it's not easy, and it's kind of sometimes it's difficult to, as a congregation. We are we are like active, so we are working with the people, we are among the people, but also our life is a life of the prayer. So we try to connect our life of the prayer with our life of the service. And I would say our day, it's a whole day of the prayer. If we don't pray in the chapel, any work we do, any service we do, it's our prayer to God. It's devoted to God. It's in the presence of God. So that's how we try to. And what St. Brother Albert said, if you are in a chapel and you are praying and somebody rings the bell to your door, just go to this person, because this is Jesus coming to you. And he was trying to see Jesus' face in every person who was coming to our door. So it's a still meeting with Jesus, just kind of different.
Beautifully said, sister. May I ask, so were you born in Krakow yourself?
No, I was born in the east of the Poland. Yes, so. And all of the sisters are Polish. Sister Benji, she works in St. Blaise. She's Romanian. But yes, all of us, the others, 5 sisters working in the Catholic Charities, we were born in Poland and we joined our congregation in Poland.
Beautiful. And I always am inspired to hear vocation stories for all of the priests and religious sisters that I've had the privilege to meet. Would you mind sharing your vocation story? How did you hear God calls to service?
So it was through the discerning process and many conversation with my spiritual director, and I was young. I didn't think about this. I never saw sisters in a habit. But when I was a teenager, I met the priest who was serving in our parish, and he started to do the meetings for the youth group. And it was just more and more to get to know to my faith and making my relationship with Jesus very personal and getting to know him better. And I always would like to help others. And I spoke with my priest and said, I think I would like to help others. And I think God is calling me to do this service as a sister. So he knew our congregation of the Albertine Sisters, and he connected me to the sisters, and that's how my way started.
And at what age then, sister, did you become an Albertine sister?
I was 19.
19. God bless you. That's an amazing
Thank
story.
you.
That's an amazing story. It sure sounds like you were so open to the call as well, right? And when we talk about vocations today, oftentimes we pray just that people are open to hearing the call, because Jesus is calling, but our world is so busy, and so our lives are so busy that sometimes we might not be hearing him, right? We pray for the humility to just listen for him talking to us, and then we will be more open to hearing that call.
Yes, I think, I think that's right what you're saying. And now we have so many questions about the vocation, and I don't think that's, that God stopped to call. he's still calling, but there's a problem with us to say yes. Like we are so afraid, we have so many questions, we are so unsure, undecided, like, yeah, so just maybe now we should pray for those young people to hear the voice and to not be afraid to follow Jesus.
To not be afraid and to not continue to ask the questions and talk to the right people who could share.
Yeah, maybe just trust him. Yeah, I think, he's the best one whom we can trust, and he always does the best for us. So just, yeah.
That's beautifully said.
Just going over here.
And so how many sisters, what from your mother house in Hammond, how big of a community of sisters is that, Sister Kate?
In Hammond, there are 9 sisters.
And so are you and the other sisters here in Chicago working for Catholic Charities able to connect with them on a regular basis as well?
Yes, we do. We just had Thanksgiving, so we got together for our Thanksgiving dinner. And always we get together for the special occasions like Christmas and Easter and the other special days for us, for our congregations. So we are very close to each other, in touch. Because, like, as I said, we are from Poland and mostly our families are over there. So sisters are our family here.
Are you able to be in regular contact, though, with your family? Are you able to do FaceTime and email and phone calls to stay connected?
Yes. Now it's so much easier with this technology we have. So we are able to see each other and talk to each other. Yeah, that's very convenient. Everybody is so happy now with this. But
I have to say that you and your fellow sisters are such an inspiration to all of us at Catholic Charities, but that aspect of your life is one of the most inspiring of all, that you'd actually leave your families and come to the United States knowing that your work is so appreciated and needed here. But that's very difficult to leave your family. So I hope you know how much admiration and respect you have from everybody at Catholic Charities for your selfless dedication to the poor, but also to service to God. It's really quite an example for all of us to try to emulate, Sister.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's very important. And being here in Catholic Charities, working with the other employees and being in touch with the volunteers, we always see a lot of respect, and they really appreciate and they kind of understand how hard it is being so far. And especially, coming here to the new, I would say, new world and new culture, getting to know everybody here and learning language. That's the other thing.
You speak English very well, but I'm sure it's been a challenge for you and the other sisters to adapt. It's not an easy language to learn.
It is, yes, and like everybody says, it's more exceptions than rules.
Yes.
So yes, but we try our best so we can serve better for those who are coming to us.
You do very well, Sister. If you'll please bear with us, we'll take a break here on The Voice of Charity. When we return, we're going to continue our conversation with Sister Kate about the wonderful Albertine Sisters who work with us at Catholic Charities. Please stay tuned.
Catholic Charities' 75th Annual Celebration of Giving is underway in support of those who are struggling to make ends meet every day. Individuals, families, colleagues, neighbors, parishioners, and friends purchase thousands of gifts and basic necessities to ensure Catholic Charities clients and their families have a joyful Christmas morning. There are many ways to get involved, including online wish lists that make giving easier than ever before. If you can join us in this special Chicago Christmas tradition as volunteers and donors, please email us at cog@catholiccharities.net. That's cog@catholiccharities.net. or call 312-655-7401 in Cook County and 847-782-4210 in Lake County. Thank you for helping us spread Christmas cheer this year throughout Cook and Lake counties.
People always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. Even though at the end of the day, we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning, because really you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Did you know that Catholic Charities accepts car donations? If you're ready to free up space in your garage and put a stop to all those expenses that go along with owning a car, we will gratefully accept your donation, whether the car is running or not. You choose a pickup time that is convenient for you, and we will make the donation as easy as possible, free of charge. You'll receive a charitable donation receipt as well. We accept all types of vehicles nationwide, and you will know that your donation is made to Catholic Charities, an agency you can trust. To learn more about donating your car, call 877-786-4483. That's 877-786-4483. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann, and it's my great honor and privilege today to be here with Sister Kate, one of the Albertine Sisters serving the poor who work for Catholic Charities. We're blessed to have 6 sisters in total, several who work at our Round Lake Food Pantry, at the Schreiber Center for Human Services, and then also several who work at our St. Blaise Parish Food Pantry in Summit. And Sister Kate, before the break, we were talking about what an inspiring religious order of nuns that you are part of, and it's a worldwide order that's been serving the poor and seeing Christ in the poor since 1891. I went on your website, and there's just several beautiful passages that talk about your mission. I'm wondering if you'll allow me to read the passage, and then could you please share a story with us about maybe a client that you've met at Catholic Charities and assisted that, kind of connected you to that part of your mission. Would that be okay with you?
Yes, go ahead.
Great. So one of the passages that really inspired me on your website is as follows. In following the footsteps of St. Francis of Assisi, St. Brother Albert gave up his promising career as a painter to live among the beggars. So too the Albertine Sisters consecrate themselves by means of following the evangelical counsels and serving the poorest and most miserable, in whom they recognize the image of the suffering Jesus. The sisters take public vows of chastity, poverty, and obedience, and they lead a fraternal life and give themselves to apostolic activity. Is there a client in particular, a client story you could share with us that really hit home with you about seeing that client as the suffering Jesus?
Well, I'm working already 8 years in the Catholic Charities, and it's a many different clients, many different neighbors we met, many different stories, and each of them is unique. And but the one that comes to my mind now, it's the one that the situation happened just on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and as our food pantry is open on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And because of Thanksgiving, we were closed on Wednesday and Thursday. So on Tuesday, we had a lot of clients coming, and because of the holidays, we were able to share turkeys with them. So many of them were coming and asking for turkeys. So the Tuesday was so busy, with giving away the turkeys, and they were fresh. They were already thawed, ready to put in the oven. So I had 2 of them left. And I knew Wednesday we are closed. So I would say like after 10 o'clock when we usually open the pantry, I was walking by our house, and the convent is like across the parking lot of the pantry. And I saw car pulling to the pantry, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, they came to the pantry and we are closed. So I tried to wave to them, and so they came to me, and I asked how I can help them, because the pantry is closed. And they said, oh, we need just a little food because we didn't know we were going to be closed. And so I told them, hey, I have a turkey and it's already good to put to the oven. Would you like it? And there was two ladies, and they just got the tears in their eyes, and they just screamed, yes, of course, we would be so happy to have it. So I just told them, let me get my card to get into the pantry, and just go over there. I'll meet you by the pantry. So and in the car they had a little flower, like a Christmas cactus. And just saw the flower and said, oh, I have a beautiful flower over there. And they said, oh yeah, it's a Christmas cactus. We are going to give it to our grandma. And then we just came to the pantry. So I gave them turkey, and I also shared with them some produce, fruits and veggies. And we had some bakery in the fridge. So I found some pies. And I asked, oh, do you like some pies? And she said, she just looked at me, and she just almost started to cry and said, oh, somebody was coming to our Thanksgiving dinner, and they were going to bring the pies, but they just go bad. They went, something happened to them. They had to throw them away. And she said, oh no, those were the same like you are giving now. So they almost started to cry. And so when I shared everything with them, we backed everything. So they had the flower with them, and they gave me this flower and said, you were so good for us. So we want to just thank you and just want to give you this flower. And I was like, and then I had tears in my eyes. I said, it's for your grandma. And the young lady said, oh, we can get another one. This is for you because you're special. And I could say that many of the sisters, like each of them has a different story, and many, many, many different stories, beautiful stories. And we had a client last year in the summer that she came because she lost her job, and she just needed help at the time. And so we helped her a few times, and then she found a job. And a few weeks later, she called me and said, sister, you helped me. I have a vegetable garden and I have abundance of veggies. Can I share with you, with your pantry? And we said, yes, of course, if you would like to. So she brought a few boxes of produce and veggies from her garden to say just thank you that, the pantry was able to help her. So there's many, many, many beautiful stories.
Those are both beautiful stories, Sister Kate, about you putting yourself in a position, to be a friend to that car that pulled up. You stepped out of your comfort zone just to be there, and then look at all of what you were able to do for them in one day, and that they acknowledged it and gave you a plant that they were going to be saving for a family member. That's such a beautiful, touching story. One other quote from your website that completely resonates with what the story you just said as well is, the more one is abandoned, the greater the love with which we must serve that person, since it is the wounded Lord Jesus himself whom we rescue in the person of the poor. That's from Saint Brother Albert, your founder. But it also really talks about, the life that you and the other fellow sisters lead every day. You're always extending yourselves beyond what you need to be that light in someone's life every day. And as we know, many of our clients don't have much light at all in their lives. And so you're such a blessing to Catholic Charities and to all of our clients. Thank you for sharing those stories.
You're very welcome.
Before we run out of time today, I just wonder, I'm sure our audience would be so interested to know, are there any Christmas traditions that the Albertine Sisters follow, or any traditions that you follow on a regular basis to honor your founder, St. Brother Albert?
So, the Christmas day, December 25th, that's the day when St. Brother Albert passed away. So,
I think we lost a little bit of audio there, Sister. Would you mind repeating that story?
Yes, yes. So December 25th, it's Brother Albert passed away.
Right.
He passed away unknown.
On Christmas Day.
So, yes. So he was born to the heaven when Jesus. And we have many traditions. We continue the traditions, the Polish traditions that we have in Poland.
Beautiful.
So we have the Wigilia, our meeting, sharing opłatek, and the Christmas dinner.
And then are there any favorite Polish foods that are around your Christmas feast every year?
Wow, that's many of them. Then, we have a traditional for Wigilia. There is no meat.
Well, I'm sure that you all enjoy resurrecting all of those traditions each year so that you really feel even more so in a community here in the United States. Sister.
Of course, the red borscht and uszka.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that?
No, I think the audio is just kind of very low. So
yeah, the audio is struggling a little bit. Again, as we conclude our show today, I just wanted to mention that we've got a Eucharistic revival going across the United States right now, trying to increase greater awareness about the true presence of Christ in the Eucharist. Has that been something that you and the sisters are trying to talk about and discuss in the parishes in which you live as well?
Yes, we try. As a sisters, we believe in the real presence of God in the Eucharist. And that's the way we participate in the Eucharist, because we believe that Jesus is present and he's giving himself to us in the Holy Communion. So I think that's something important that we need to bring it back again to many of them, because the Eucharist just became just something casual, like we go to the church every Sunday and we just don't think what's happening over there. We just forgot that that Jesus is present and is coming to meet with us. So I think there is a lot of job ahead of us to remind everybody.
Thank you for that, Sister. You, Sister Kate, Sister Nicola, and Sister Benji inspire us all.
To bring it.
You all inspire us with your faith in God and your tremendous dedication to your work and all you do in His name. We thank you for being such warm, accomplished, visible disciples of Christ in Catholic Charities and in the world. And we thank you for reminding us every day how joyful life can be if we follow your example and put God first in our lives. We wish you a blessed Advent and a very Merry Christmas, Sister Kate.
Thank you so much, and have a Merry Christmas, everyone, too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. And we invite all of you back again next week for another edition of The Voice of Charity. For now, this is Katie Bredemann, and we thank you for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.